Welcome back to Walk-Ins. Welcome. I'm excited that you're here. My name is Nick Ward. I've got Michael Ray with me as always, and we exist to help medical practices triple their revenue through digital marketing services and exceptional patient value. What's up, man?
I'm doing good. Let you guys know, this is actually right before Memorial Day weekend. So I think we're all kind of feeling the buzz if we're going to be off for a couple of days, which is nice.
Our chill mode is peaked at like 11 or 12 right now. Like, if you don't hear me jumping off the rafters, it's because I'm starting to calm down a little bit. We've had an amazing May.
May was good to us.
We've helped a lot of companies grow. I feel good about it. We've got some good feedback. We see these reviews coming in.
We're starting to talk to more urgent cares, which is really cool.
Yeah.
From the podcast. So It is a real thing.
Yeah. We appreciate y'all giving us all the positive feedback and letting us know what you think of us. And really just, the biggest thank you to us is saying, hey, we want to do business with you. So I can't think of a better compliment than somebody to say, we appreciate you. Please help us.
Oh yeah. All right. So what are we talking about today?
So I'll put together the 5 rights. Okay. I know that sounds kind of crazy or kind of weird, and we're going to dig into them. I'll start as I always do, and I'll list them all out, and then we'll dig into it. But the 5 rights, this is how I think about marketing. I think a little different than most people, Michael. So like just a hair. I tend to back out of things, unpack things. I think different. I'm not necessarily a creative, but I think in circles, right? So I think of the right message on the right platform at the right time, delivered in the right way with the right system. So we're going to talk about those 5 rights today.
I wish I could make like a word out of that, but there's no, MPT. No.
We could throw it into an acronym maker.
Yes.
All right. So
SWAT
you always say things that make me think of some other story.
Oh no.
So here we go again. The stupidest acronym that I can't even unpack on this show. For those who don't know, I'm a pilot. And for us to know what equipment is required in the airplane, there is an acronym called A Tomato Flames.
A Tomato Flames.
And I know what every one of them stand for.
So every letter.
Every letter. Altimeter, tachometer, oil pressure, manifold pressure. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I could go.
So when I'm sitting in the plane, you're doing your check, you're saying A Tomato Flame.
No. I do that before.
Okay.
We ever get in the plane. We're not taking off without A Tomato Flames.
That's what I'm thinking. Like in your head, you're walking through it. You're walking around the plane.
Absolutely. And then at night, there's an additional one called Flaps that goes on to A Tomato Flames. Nothing to do with this podcast at all. You're welcome. There's 2 minutes of your life.
I'm going to go ahead and throw an offer out there. If you reach out to us and you're by chance in urgent care, slightly interested in working with us, Nick will fly out to you.
Thanks for that volunteer. Actually, I will. It's just an excuse.
Unless it's too far, but if it's within like the Southeast, he'll make it happen.
Absolutely. We're going to be going out and visiting some of our urgent care partners in Florida.
Yeah,
very soon.
Down to Miami.
Yeah. All right. Let's get back into it. Right message, right platform, right time, right way, right system. The right message is what makes you unique, different, and better than your competitors. It's as simple as that. You want to make sure that you formulate your message about your practice, whatever your practice is. You want to make sure that you formulate that message. Not everything's going to be the same. You got to be able to dig out something that makes you different, better, or unique. Now, what are some things that make people different, better, and unique, Michael?
Well, when I was thinking too, so this is not necessarily your mission statement, because I think I've seen people confuse that where they advertise their mission statement or a vision statement. But sometimes it can be as simple as what gives you the edge over your competitors. Because like if you're like in urgent care or any medical, generally speaking, you're providing the same services. It's really how you provide them, the convenience of providing them, the cost providing them, and then ultimately, is the overall experience a good one or not?
That's right.
That's where your message comes in place, because I've never seen this urgent care before, this medical place, and I get that one sentence or that 5 words, and it needs to tell me everything about it, why I should go there, not the person down the street.
So since we're talking urgent cares, one of the local ones is called Kid Street.
Yeah.
That just in their name alone tells me what they do.
Yeah.
Kid Street Urgent Care.
Yeah. They're down the street and they'll help kids.
Come on. Let's go.
It's so smooth.
That's it.
Yeah.
And all of their messaging is around their uniqueness is that they only deal with pediatrics.
Mm-hmm.
They're different is in their location, right? So they're automatically separating themselves from other pediatric. There's some other ones that we've worked with in the past. Pediatrics PM. Yeah. Does that tell you anything about Pediatrics PM?
Yeah, like instantly you're like, they work with kids and they do late night.
Okay.
And all of a sudden you're like, oh, I get it.
After hours pediatric urgent care. hyper niche, but all of their messaging is around what makes them different, better, unique, only in their space. And that's where all of their messaging goes. And I like to say it this way: find out what the people are buying and sell that to them.
Yeah, sometimes you got to meet people where they're at.
That's right.
And we joke about how, like, so Urgent Care Marketing Pros is technically part of Nick the Marketer. What is Nick the Marketer, right?
There's some weirdo named Nick. I think my favorite thing about that, Michael, is people still don't know I'm a real person. I love that.
Well, and every time I introduce you, it's like, Nick's a real person. Here he is.
That's right.
And then they kind of chuckle, but then they're like, oh yeah, I guess he is real.
The first time that happened freaked me out.
Yeah, that was
funny. I walked in. They had been a client of ours for over a year, I think, and I walked into that meeting to meet them, and they're like, "You're a real guy?" I thought that was just some kind of like different name for a company.
It's just behind the screen.
It is what it is. So once you develop that right message, what is our next step?
The next step is the right platform.
Yeah, we have to deliver that message.
And let's think about we're not just talking digital here. We're talking any way somebody can consume it.
Absolutely.
So it could be on a pen, it could be on a radio, it could be on Google, it could be on Facebook, TikTok. Could be anywhere. It could be a postcard that you do a mail out for. I mean, it could be TV commercials, all sorts of stuff, but you have to know your audience, know where to put it. Because if your audience doesn't like opening mail because maybe they're a younger generation, you probably shouldn't put your message there.
I like to think of it this way when I'm thinking through how to help our clients pick platforms. Well, typically we pick it for them based on the knowledge, but is this an immediate need product or is this a want? And then if either one of those is a thing, you're going to identify what platforms based off of that. There's a third option to that is, do people even know who the crap I am?
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. And so that's where you're going to get mass media involved if you're big enough to be able to support that.
Well, I didn't even think about talking about right platform stuff. So if you're like an HVAC company, some of your mass broadcasting will be during hot summers when people are cooking and they need somebody.
That's right.
And you want to be in the back of their head. So, because you don't want to put the wrong message at the wrong time, which we'll talk about in the timing part, but you have to be conscious of where these people are and making sure like it makes total sense. Because we even joke with TikTok ads, you're now pushing that 50+ age range that are super engaged, which that tells you there's a certain demographic you can actually go after.
That's right. And we did a whole episode out that should come out before this, right?
Yeah.
So go back and listen to that episode about TikTok advertising. I think that's going to be something you're going to want to cue in on a little bit. But as you explore those platforms and understand whether or not you're an immediate need or if you're a want, I try and think of, we work with massage therapists, right? Yep. We have multi-location massage therapists. That is a want. That is a want. So we have to spend a lot of time digging into his story brand, if you will, and figuring out, hey, what is it that people are attracted to about this business? Is it convenience? Is it price? Right?
Is it relief?
Yeah, exactly. Is it something that they're gaining out of it? Because at the end of the day, they don't have to spend $99 or $125 or whatever. They don't have to. Now, let's juxtapose that over to a urgent care or an immediate care, right? You're using them because you need them.
Yeah, like
right?
you are suffering, right, you're sick, you just don't feel good, and you want to feel better.
And typically, those happen even when it's like quick onset, right? Like all of a sudden, I have flu-like symptoms. I'm not getting into my doctor for another 30, 45 days
or 6 months.
It's just not going to happen, right? That's if I'm on some kind of payment plan with them, right? So you're meeting an immediate need, and understanding that about your business is going to let me know I need to be all over Google. Being a want, I need to be all over social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, right? YouTube. These are places where you're interrupting their regularly scheduled programming, swiping, scrolling, and you're interrupting them with a message with an offer.
Yep.
Totally different concept than being on Google, where people are actively looking for what you have. You just have to show up.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, and it's funny too, because we generally tell you, like, you don't want to be on just one platform either.
That's right.
Because there's if I own this one spot, like, this is not Yellow Pages. Back in the day when Yellow Pages was a thing, if I was on the front page of Yellow Pages, all my advertising budget was. How much does it cost? Check the box. Move on.
Always have a story.
All right.
Keep going. I want you to finish that.
But no, but like 20, 30 years ago, that was the advertising budget for a local person, was taking an ad out on Yellow Pages, because that's where everybody went to find information, except for TV and radio ads. But even that, you left the TV and radio to larger companies.
Right.
but that's gone. That's gone. So now you have like 10 options to pick from. And generally speaking, not one will do it all. Like sometimes you have to use a combination of them to get the right message at the right time sometimes. Because I think about how when we do like e-commerce shopping ads, we also have like abandoned cart emails that follow up with that, or cart abandonment emails. And then we also have retargeting campaigns that we put in. We put in match lists to go after them as well. Like there's layers to it, and it's not just one option. And so that's something to think about when you're talking about platforms. Is it's never one and done. Like there's always options there,
right?
And it changes. Like recommending Facebook now is a whole lot different than recommending Facebook 10 years ago,
or even 3.
Yeah,
that's how fast it changed.
Ever since iOS changed, like that recommendation has shifted quite a bit.
I even look at Facebook now as mass media. I don't even look at it as granular the way it used to be. You know, it's funny. We just got a notification even for urgent cares. Y'all listen up if you're running Facebook ads. They just removed urgent care as a targeting option. Like,
really?
Yeah. So if you're interested in urgent cares because you've been to one or whatever, I can't target you anymore. So I have to get creative with that messaging now. Back to Yellow Pages real quick. So during that transition, I was in radio. Print was slowly dying out. Yellow Pages was shifting to all online directories and listings, right? But I had a friend of mine that owned an HVAC company that was doing radio advertising with me, and he told me the most genius thing. He was calling phone book HVAC companies, and if it went to a dead number, he went and bought that number. And so he had like 30 or 40 numbers that just redirected to him from other HVAC companies.
From old ads.
It was from old tracking numbers that they put in there and all of that. But if for that older demographic that was still using it, they were just forwarding those calls.
That wrote it down on the fridge.
That man was cleaning a house in the HVAC company.
I bet them were now.
Oh no, I mean, when's the last time you saw a phone book?
Right.
Thank God for that, but still.
Now I'm trying to think of what's the next thing that's going to die out that you can.
I have ideas, but it's not for this podcast. All right, let's move on to the right time. This is actually a pretty simple one, and it's kind of relevant. Even though this episode is happening after Memorial Day, a right time for an urgent care. Well, there's a lot of people that are grilling out. There's a lot of people who might be on boats. There's a lot of people who might be, I don't know, spending time with family. Not all of the places are open right now because it's a holiday weekend. But your messaging sent out at the right time. Hey, you're grilling out. Don't let that burn get you. Come see us. Hey, did you fall off the boat? Come see us.
Special hours.
Right. Yeah. Did y'all go to the splash pad and your kid fall and scratch their knee? We're available. We're open.
Are your kids doing summer camp this year? Like we can handle that.
Seasonal advertising, the right message at the right time.
Yeah. So a good example is don't run a special Valentine's ad through Mother's Day.
Stop yelling at me, Dad. I didn't mean to. It was on one of the 30 ad sets that we were running.
So we make mistakes.
I'm a dummy.
Too. We make mistakes.
I know.
But like so we're going into summer. You're running summer ads. Make sure, or whatever messaging you are that's summer related, make sure you turn that off when September hits because summer's over.
Christmas is done on December 26th.
Unless you're doing a fire sale.
Just because you're closed from December 26th to January 1st doesn't mean it's still Christmas.
Now, the best one is when you call any place during holiday and the auto attendant picks up and it says, our special Christmas hours are, and it's like the first week of January and they haven't updated their phone yet. It's just a simple thing too. But actually, I will put that out there. Like if you have an automated attendant that when people call, it's not a real person just yet. Make sure your messaging inside that's accurate because a lot of people insert holiday messaging or special messaging and they forget about it.
I didn't even think about that. That's a good site.
It's simple, right? Because the last thing we want to do is a call and they haven't updated their phone systems in 2 months. I'm not that impressed.
You know, our buddy Bryant Miles, every single morning updates his voicemail.
Oh, he's that type of guy.
He is. Every morning he gets up at like 4 a.m. or whatever, it works out. And he puts, hey, this is Bryant. You've reached me.
On May 26th.
May 26th, in the year of our Lord, or whatever it is that he's saying. But I'm like, you're both awesome and crazy all at the same time.
That's so good.
All right. So the right way. The right way is just simply how you're collecting data from the ads that you're running, whatever platform it is. For example, I'm sending out, I have, a primary care. I'm going to let people in a 15-mile radius or in certain neighborhoods know that we're accepting new patients because that's super rare in the primary care space. But we're going to do that. Well, the right way to do that is probably to put a QR code on there, right? That way they can just scan it with their phone, go directly to your website and schedule an appointment. That's the right way to deliver that message. The right way to do it on Facebook could be either to send to a landing page, a dedicated landing page, or even better on Facebook and Instagram is to create a dedicated lead form to where they never have to bounce off the platform.
Yep.
But on Google, you want to make sure that the right way to do that is if you're offering couples massages, then you send to a dedicated landing page that only talks about couples massages, not to your full website. That's the right way to deliver that message.
Well, even like from a Google Ads standpoint, it hurts you if that experience on that landing page is not accurate. So because the reality is like people, when they click on something, they have an expectation. The worst thing that ever happens when I click on like a shopping ad, it takes me to a random category page and I can't find the product I clicked on. I'm never going to buy that because I'm like, I can't even find it.
That's right.
Because I didn't get it in my click. I went somewhere else and it feels spammy at that point. So,
well, just to even take it to another step, you know, you go on the radio and I'm going to talk massages again. I don't mean to. Let's do chiropractor this time. We're going to give 10 free chiropractic visits with x-rays and a free adjustment on your first visit, right? Well, you know how long it takes to cut a commercial on radio? That radio ad's going to be up for 45 days minimum. You're going to get those 10 people in a week. And then that ad is going to be dead and gone. That's not the right way to deliver that offer. So when I talk about the right way, think about the platform, what your offer is, and then deliver it in a way that's going to be most useful for the person who's
I even think about, so a good example of radio working in that capacity is that you've introduced a new doctor to your clinic and you're trying to promote that person and bring their name up into the neighborhood a little bit. So that's like a long-term situation, but you're right. Radio has a lot of limitations on turnaround.
That's right. And television.
Yeah. So any of the mass media stuff is slow turnaround. Now I think like billboards have kind of corrected that with their digital billboards.
Yeah, but print is permanent.
And print, you can't get rid of. A great example of print of a screw up. I was with another company, but I was working with a marketing company that was doing, they kind of did everything like the print, TV. They were like the director of all those things. And they called me up and they said, is there any way that we can make this, she read off the domain, go to the actual domain? And I said, we'll see if it's available. No, I can't buy it. So no. She said,
that just cost her $2,500.
Yeah, I just printed 500 things with this mistake on there. I was like, sorry.
Hey, you could look at that however you want, but that's what we call paying a stupid tax.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you have to review. You have to review.
I think the worst they get are email newsletters. I've gotten more oops and oh crap newsletters recently.
Gosh, how many have we sent out?
Yeah, just a handful.
Yeah, I am notorious for spelling the word TEH. Have no idea why. Don't know if I'm dyslexic in my finger typing.
Or did you save it in the autocorrect and it got stuck?
Lord, if I did, I don't want to fix it. I'm in trouble. Hey, I'm a marketer, not a tech guy. Right? That's two totally different things. Maybe an episode later for that. Awesome. All right, last one is the right system. All right, number 5, the right system. Here's the thing. When you generate a lead, typically speaking, you have 5 to 10 minutes max. You need to follow up on that lead and you need to have a system in place, whether that be a phone call system, whether that be a form capture system, whether that be your CRM that you're using. Anything that you have needs to notify whoever is responsible for following up on that lead that you generated, or that patient that you generated, or that customer that you generated. Something has to be in place from a system perspective to make sure that you're notified, follow up with that person, and get them to give you money.
Well, and it's so funny. So the best way to sum that up is follow up. There's fortune in the follow up.
Oh, I love that. That's good.
We've heard that from other people.
Yeah, but I liked it when you said it.
So, and it's real. I don't care how awesome you are. They will never do business with you if you don't respond to them. Period.
We have a system that we set up on our autoresponder. It's called the Fast 5, right? It's built into our high level system. And it is a email, a text message, a positive, negative response. Did they respond to the text message or email? Yes or no?
Yeah.
If no, then it does a secondary follow-up system. If yes, it closes them out and gets them booked, right? But there is a system in place where we can call our client, we can text our client, our potential client, our lead, if you will, call, text, email, follow up. But guess what? We have a system for that.
Yeah.
We're not hoping it works.
Yeah.
Like, we have a system. we got no lead left behind, right? Like we want to make sure that we're following up with everybody, right?
That's fantastic.
There you go.
Well, no, so a great simple example of this. So I had a friend, we were having coffee the other day, you know, this friend, and he's like, hey, I know you know a lot of people in your network. Do you know somebody that can tear up some concrete and haul it off and put in stuff? I'm like, no, but I'm sure I can find somebody. Right. So an hour later, I asked one guy and he's like, try this person. Asked that person. He said, no, try this person. Asked, and within 5 minutes, I got the right person. They said, yeah, this is the guy. Tell him to call him. Send it to my friend. He calls him, and it was didn't answer. He immediately got called back within like a minute, and then within an hour, he was at his backyard assessing it to give him a price. And the amazing part was, my friend has been looking for 2 weeks, calling on concrete people, and nobody would show up or call him back. Mm-hmm. And that guy got his business in 1 hour because the guy even said, yeah, it's amazing. You just answer your phone and call people back.
It's unbelievable. I mean, we literally, even in our process for our clients, Michael, like if somebody misses a call, 2 things happen. One, our client gets a text message saying, you missed a call. Do you want to connect with them? Here's their number. Click here. Mm-hmm. And our client or their lead gets a text message that says, hey, sorry, we missed your call. We'd love to follow up with you. When's the best time to do that?
And then the other layer of that too, we also send our client, here's the call that just happened.
Right.
Because I've had some I've even had a client, they get that email. They said, are we supposed to call them?
Yes.
Like, you should have already talked to them by now.
Totally failed to communicate that is your lead.
Yeah, I've heard that a few times.
All right. So let's take action, right? Let's find out. Tomato flames. Tomato flames, right? We're going down. We forgot one of our tools. Anyway, gosh, the airspeed indicator is working. Here we go. All right. So figure out where you are in this process. Have you already put the right message together? Great. Are you running that message on the right platforms? Or are you not running ads at all? Anywhere. Let's take action at that level. So you're running ads because you have the right message. Are you running it in the right time frame? Is it seasonal? Are you putting it in front of the right people at the right time? Okay, great. But are you doing it in the right way? Is it converting? Hey, we're doing all these things right, but it's not really converting. Well, are you giving them the best way to convert? And if you are you following up with the leads that you're receiving with the proper system, the right system that's working for your company? I want you to get into these 5 rights and figure out where you are in the process and fix what may be broken or start something new.
And if you're just not sure what's working and what's not, look at the effectiveness of what you've done. Because the reality is, if you're doing good marketing and you're doing all these things in the right way, then you should see a result of some sort. And if you're not seeing any changes, like we always say, like if you're not seeing a bump in your bottom line, it's not working.
Yeah.
Because that's the whole point of the thing.
I think I need to add a 6th right, and that's called right tracking.
Yeah.
That's going to be for a future
episode. Or right KPI.
Yeah, right KPI, key performance indicator. You're right. That's not in there. That wasn't part of my messaging, but that may be something. Hey, this is a fluid right system. All right. Well, listen, we're so glad that you took some time to listen to our episode today. And we always want to hear your feedback. A lot of that can come through a review. So leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or wherever you're listening. Anchor,
we really do appreciate that.
That's right. And then reach out to us through email, hello@urgentcaremarketingpros.com, right? That's it. And what are we looking for?
What we're looking for?
Yeah.
In terms of email?
Well, do you want to know something that we haven't covered in the podcast? Do you want to be on the podcast because you have a successful urgent care that you want to talk about?
And we actually, so this episode just came right after an interview we did with a place out of Atlanta, and it was super fascinating. So we love that side. I know I'm talking to a guy right now about HIPAA compliance in terms of what that looks like for an urgent care, because apparently they just changed everything.
Oh, Lord.
So now it's more of an active justice system thing and not so much a reaction. So
that sounds a lot like they want more money,
right? Or just a reason to charge more fines. So
that's it.
There you go. But anyway, we'll catch y'all on the next one. Thank y'all, and we're going Memorial Day weekend after this. So.
Man, I'm leaving. Bye.
Yeah, bye.